I think the thing that makes all the difference for a good smart home is good inputs, good data. If you don't have really good data, you can't make reliable and useful automations. If you're new here, I'm on a bit of a journey to build the perfect smart home, and I'm sharing it here so you can do the same. We've already handled a lot of the data gathering in the house with our ceiling mounted EP1s, reporting temperature, CO2 levels, light level, humidity, and presence, but I keep finding myself wishing I had access to similar data from outside the house. There are tons of automations that could make good use of things like outdoor temperature, wind speed, brightness, rain detection, and heaps more. Of course, I could use the built-in weather service from Home Assistant, but one of my goals is to remove reliance on cloud services, and those weather forecasts and data are all dependent on some kind of third-party service. And they're not specifically for my house, they're for my local area. Home weather stations have been a thing for decades, so this seemed like an easy fix. Just find one that links in with Home Assistant and you're all good, right? Not quite. It seems the vast majority of weather stations are pretty closed systems. They come with a wireless display that you plug in indoors, and it just displays the current conditions or sometimes a forecast. Not that useful for rolling into my Home Assistant automations. They almost all seem to broadcast data on some sort of radio frequency that's dependent on your local area, which of course isn't what we're used to with modern smart devices linking in with Wi-Fi and the internet. A bit more research revealed that quite a few of these weather station brands sell a separate Wi-Fi bridge that'll connect it to an app or a little web server so you can check the weather on your computer or phone. And as with so many things, there is a Home Assistant integration to make that data available to use in your automations. Or, with some extra work, which I'll tell you about later, replace your stock Home Assistant weather entity altogether. So, after confirming there was in fact a Home Assistant integration and that it all worked offline without any cloud dependency, I ordered myself a weather station. What I ended up going with is this guy. It's an EcoWit WS90. It has a haptic rain gauge, which measures the amount of rain hitting the top of the unit itself to estimate rainfall, an ultrasonic anemometer for measuring wind speed and direction with no moving parts, temperature, humidity, UV, and a light sensor, all in this tiny little neat package. No moving parts means less to go wrong, even if I do trade it for a little bit of accuracy. With it, I got one of these GW3000 gateways. This will take the 433 MHz signal that the weather station kicks out and make the data available on my network via the Ethernet port. Nice. There's other gateways available with screens and other bits and pieces, but realistically, I'm only ever going to use this via Home Assistant anyway, so I went with the option that made the most sense to me. I can build my own weather dashboard later. I also ordered a couple of accessories, some other sensors that operate on the same 433 MHz band and with the same base station, an extended power cable for the weather station itself, and a little crown to stop birds chilling on top. I got everything powered up on the bench in the garage and got the EcoWit integration working in Home Assistant before installing the weather station more permanently. EcoWit actually provides their own official Home Assistant integration to connect it all up without having to use their cloud service at all. The integration just grabs the data directly from the gateway via your network. I've blocked my gateway from accessing the internet and it all still works great. Big thumbs up to EcoWit for making this available for people. The perfect place for a weather station like this is somewhere that's entirely free of obstructions and anything that could affect its readings, similar to the kinds of locations that are optimal for TV antennas. Conveniently, our house came with a TV antenna, and Britt and I don't watch free-to-air TV at all, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. I made up a little adapter to power my weather station via PoE by soldering one of the extension leads you can buy from EcoWit to the positive and negative pads of one of these 12-volt PoE adapters and installed it in my roof space. Technically, this weather station can be powered just with 2 AA batteries and solar power, but I wanted to have something rock solid, so I opted to hardwire the power. I fed some yellow tongue down the pole into the roof space, then taped my power cable to it and pulled it back up through. The weather station allows you to run power down the mounting pole or outside it, depending on what you have available. The WS90 already has a receptacle for a 25mm pole, so conveniently, the weather station already fits right on top of my existing mast. After painfully shoving the power cable back down, I made sure to line up the indicator facing north, and we're all installed. Easy as that. Come to think of it, this would be a good spot for a nice chunky mesh-tastic node, I reckon. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me put that together too. Next, I added a PoE converter to the Wi-Fi gateway and installed it in the roof space to maximize range to all of the other sensors I plan on installing. The little temperature probe that's on the little gateway will be used to log the temperature of my roof space too, which will help me understand how well my insulation is working when it goes in soon. Now, I have access to localized weather conditions right here in Home Assistant and entirely local, no cloud needed. But getting the data is only half the equation. How do you use it? Think about all the things you do differently inside based on the weather outside. A lot of those can be helped with some simple Home Assistant automations or not so simple automations. Here's just a few of my favorites that we use almost every day. But before I show you those, a quick break to thank Odoo for sponsoring today's video. One of the biggest reasons people put off building a website for their business isn't creativity, it's just time. You sit down thinking it'll take an afternoon and suddenly you're weeks deep tweaking layouts, fighting plugins, or trying to make everything look right on mobile. Not with Odoo. Odoo's an all-in-one business management software that helps entrepreneurs run their business smoothly. Odoo's website building app is designed to make web design simple without compromising on any features and allowing you to natively integrate it with your other Odoo apps. It's built around an intuitive system of drag and drop blocks based on a vast collection of templates to suit any business. What I like is that it doesn't lock you into rigid designs. You can tweak colors, fonts, spacings, page structure all in real time, so the site actually ends up looking like your brand, not a generic template. And because everything is integrated, things like forms, contact pages, and blogs can be added in just minutes, not days. You're not bolting features on afterwards, they're already there, ready to go. Odoo even allows you to create your website entirely for free by choosing their website app as your lifetime free app when you sign up. You even get a domain included for that. So if you want to get a site online quickly, customize it easily, and not commit to yet another subscription up front, Odoo's worth a look. There's a link down in the description you can use to make your own free website for your business, side hustle, or grand idea. Thanks again to Odoo for sponsoring this video. I'm going to give you a top level talk through how these automations all work. This should be enough for you to replicate them yourself with a little bit of tinkering. But if you're interested in more in-depth automation tutorials, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about doing a few at some point in 2026. First up is a nice easy one. If it starts raining, Home Assistant will send whoever is home a notification on their phone to check the washing line for clothes that might be drying. If Britt and I are both home, it'll send it to both of us. This triggers when the rain state piezo becomes moist for 2 minutes and then decides who to send a notification to based on who is home. The next one's really similar. If it's super windy, I like to check that there's nothing loose in the yard to get blown around and make sure nothing gets blown away or damaged. I have a notification set up for this too. It works, like I said, super similarly to the rain alert. When the weather station wind speed is above 40, and in this case it's in kilometers an hour, just like the rain notification, it'll choose who to send the notification to. The difference here is there's only 2 options, if I'm home or if I'm not home. If I'm home, it'll send me the notification. If I'm not home, it'll send nobody the notification and stop the automation. In summer, if the temperature outside is cooler than inside, which often happens in the evening after the sun goes down, I'll typically open up the windows and turn off the air conditioning to save some energy and air out the house. To help automate this as much as I can, I have an automation that compares the thermostat setting to the outside temperature with a value template. First, it checks what mode the air conditioner's in. If it's in cool mode, it'll check if the outdoor temperature is below the set point of the thermostat,
And in heat mode, it'll check if the outdoor temperature is above the set point of the thermostat. If either of those conditions are met for at least 10 minutes, it'll check if there's at least a light breeze to make sure some air will move through the house. And then it checks if the air conditioner is actually turned on at all. Are we trying to change the temperature of the house? If those conditions are met, it'll send a notification to whoever's home asking them to open the windows. If we click done in the notification, it triggers another automation that turns off the air conditioner. If we click no thanks, it'll clear the notification and end the automation without changing anything. This automation has a 1 hour cooldown so we don't get spammed every time the conditions are met. Once our home's aware of the window's open and closed state, it'll be able to automatically turn the AC off when windows are opened and turn it back on when they're all closed. But for now, this is a good compromise and saves me a little bit of mental load thinking about it myself. If the temperature differential between our thermostat and the outside temperature is particularly significant, I would normally manually close all our cellular blinds to add some extra insulation value. Double glazing is not always a thing here in Australia. But now Home Assistant can do it for me, at least for the windows with electric blinds. This automation checks if we have the air conditioning or heating on, and then compares the outside temperature to the thermostat's temperature. When the outside temperature changes, we check the current state of the air conditioning. If we're heating and it's more than 12 degrees colder outside, or if we're cooling and it's more than 12 degrees warmer outside, it'll send whoever is home a notification. The notification asks if we'd like to close the blinds. If we click yes, it'll close the blinds. If we click no, it'll do nothing. There's a 2 hour cooldown on this one too. Lastly, if conditions outside are what I've called extreme, which I think is below 7 degrees and above 35 degrees, it'll close the blinds regardless of whether the air conditioner is on to make sure things don't get too hot or cold. This automation does currently assume all the windows and doors are closed, but soon it'll be able to prompt us to close any windows or doors that are open first. Get subscribed to the channel if you'd like to see how we add those inputs to the house as cheaply and neatly as possible. All the YAML for these automations is over on the blog post for this video, so feel free to check them out and use them in your own projects.
Those are just a few of the automations I've been using this weather station for, but I also use it for some less automated functions. For example, our dashboard now displays the current temperature outside, perfect for when you're wanting to go for a walk or something but don't know if you should grab yourself or the dog a jacket before you step outside. And for summer, it reports the UV level right there on the dashboard, so we can make sure to slip, slop, slap if we need to. Now, all that probably seems really simple, right? And it is, but there's something I missed when I set this up initially that made a big difference to me when I discovered it. While the EcoWit integration provides all the weather-related data you could imagine from your weather station, it doesn't provide it as a weather entity. You know, like the default one you can use for your weather card in Home Assistant. I was hoping to replace my weather card that fetches its data from the internet with something that's using my data from my new weather station. Fortunately, someone else has thought of that and created a HAX integration called Micro Weather Station by Asa Betty. This allows you to create your own weather entity that uses your own weather station data, providing you a much more accurate localized weather state and forecast, and it's all handled locally. It's been working great, and I've slowly tweaked all my integrations that were using the standard Home Assistant weather entity as an input with my new one. And if you're looking for a suggestion on which weather station to get, so far I can recommend this one from EcoWit. They didn't sponsor this video, they didn't supply the product for this video, I bought it myself, and so far I'm really happy with it, so do with that what you will. If you don't have one, a weather station is a relatively inexpensive addition to your smart home that adds a whole lot of extra data you can use to create heaps of previously impossible automations for your home. I'd love to hear if you guys have any ideas for automations that could make use of my new weather station, or maybe how you're using yours. Leave a comment down below. If you like this video, leave it a like. If not, let me know why. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you next time.